So we're currently 2 weeks into the transfer window and already there's been some significant signings. In this video I'm going to be covering a couple of them, including Ndiaye to Everton, Max Kilman to West Ham and Michael Olise going to Bayern Munich for 60 million. So just before I start this video, I just want to shout out Soccer Atos. I can give you a 10% discount to any shirts on the website. This is an example of one. It's a Benfica strip from this season. Their shirts are just a fraction of the price of club shop prices and the exact same quality. Go grab yourself a great deal. Toby's 10 at checkout for 10% off. So the plan with this video structure is just to quick fire through some transfers. Starting with Michael Olise, is joined by Munich from Crystal Palace for 60 million. What do I think about this? I reckon it's a good transfer. So he could play attacking midfield, but is predominantly a right winger. He came through the Reading Academy a few years ago, and he ended up joining Crystal Palace shortly after for what was a relatively cheap fee, because Reading were a club with a lot of financial issues, ownership issues, and unfortunately they're still going through stuff, but Olise was a player who departed them and he's done well ever since. And since Glasner's come in at Palace, we've seen the best of Olise. I think they won the last 7 league games and Olise played an instrumental part in that with Mateta and Eze and Ayew in the front line. And I think at Bayern Munich he could do well. He's got to compete with Musiala, Sané, Gnabry, but I think he could really hold down starting place earlier than people are expecting. The second transfer is Max Kilman joining West Ham for 40 million from Wolves. I reckon it's another good transfer. It's quite expensive compared to what I'd expect him to be valued at, because what is he, a decent centre-back at a decent club in the Premier League, I'd say. I wouldn't say that he's superb, but Lopetegui at Wolves, he knows him. He probably wanted him to come and sign. He was probably a top choice. Under Gary O'Neill, we've seen Kilman play right centre-back, middle centre-back, left centre-back. He's a very versatile centre-back and he could play in a 4, in a 5. Left centre-backs are in demand. And just a quick one on this as well. Wolves signed him from Maidenhead a couple of years ago. Well, a few years ago. It was about 5 or 6 years ago now. And there was a 20% sell-on clause in that. So any sale that Wolves made, whether it was a profit or not, Maidenhead would be entitled to 20% of that. And West Ham and Wolves told Maidenhead that the only way for them to get some money is to compromise and have 10%. And Maidenhead said yes, but I just want to point out how much of a L that is from the clubs, because quite frankly, Premier League clubs with millions upon millions of pounds should be able to just allow 20% sell-on clause to a non-league club. And yeah, fair play to Maidenhead, because they said yes and they've got 4 million in the bank, which is instrumental towards clubs in the non-league. And the next one is Iliman Ndiaye going to Everton for 20 million. As a Sheffield United fan, this one hurts because we only sold him 12 months ago to Marseille. His boyhood club, Didier Drogba, sent him a voice note saying, "Oh, come join Marseille, you need to, it's your boyhood club." And they shafted him. He played a lot on the right wing, which is a position which he can play, but is better off down the middle, whether it's attacking midfield or as a second striker. And I think Everton are getting a really, really good deal. We saw Ndiaye in the FA Cup tear apart Tottenham Hotspur a couple of years ago when he was at Sheffield United. He was okay at Marseille, as I say, but there's a reason why they're getting rid of him for a little more than what they paid for him. 20 million it is. I think Sean Dyche will do absolute wonders with him. I think his best position will be in behind Calvert-Lewin or Beto, whoever plays up front, in the Decore role, I suppose it is. Although Sean Dyche knows how to get the best out of his players, and you know, this is a premium player for Sean Dyche, and I think he'll want to utilise him well, and I think he will do. Really good transfer. Then Max Vifer joining Brighton for 25 million. I think it's quite an astute signing. We'll see Brighton make these quite a lot, and I think, you know, a year ago they lost Caicedo, they lost McAllister. They've got a midfield now where Pascal Gross is getting on a bit. Billy Gilmore's starting to reach his ceiling. Dahoud was signed a year ago and I don't think he's going to be here much longer if he's not gone yet. And they needed to sign a midfielder. And I think that Vifer's going to be really good. He's young, he's energetic, he can play a really good pass. And it's going to be exciting to see how it goes for him, especially with Huxtable as manager, 31-year-old manager. He's got big pressure on his back, and I feel like a signing like this might just take the pressure off a little bit. So a few deals that are close to happening. Manchester United are close to getting De Ligt, and they've basically got Xerxes signed. De Ligt is joining, and it's another player who was at Ajax during Ten Hag's glory years, you know, 4 or 5 years ago now. And it's another player who's followed him to Manchester United. Anthony did, and that transfer didn't go too well. Lisandro Martinez did, and that's yet to be seen because he's always bleeding injured. Donny van den Beek rejoined up with Ten Hag when he first came in, and that's gone disastrously bad. I don't mean to be bunching De Ligt into, you know, a cluster of players who have followed Ten Hag from Ajax to Manchester United. with a couple of clubs along the way. But I just feel like it's not the most inspirational transfer. I feel like there's a reason why Juventus got rid of De Ligt, there's a reason why Bayern didn't start him with Tuchel, and it'll be good to see him get his form going again. But is he gonna? We'll have to see. Calafiori is joining Arsenal. I feel like Arteta will get a really good performance out of him. He's obviously got Saliba and Gabriel at centre-back. They're pretty nailed-on starters, but Calafiori can play centre-back, left centre-back specifically. But I feel like Calafiori will be joined at left-back. And Zinchenko, he's getting on a bit now, and he's reached his ceiling. I don't think we're going to get a really, really good season out of him again. Tierney's not going to be kept. Timber, we need to see what's going to happen with him at Arsenal, but he can also play right back. So I think that Calafiori is a perfect player for them, really. He's done well at the Euros. He had a good season last season, again with Thiago Motta. And is he the final piece of the jigsaw at Arsenal for Arteta? We'll have to wait and see. So that's the main transfers rounded up this week. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the transfers, and also let me know what you think about this video style, something a bit different. Normally I speak about tactics and new managers, and I go a bit more in depth. This is just a broad overview of ongoings. The old content's not going anywhere, but I feel like transfers are something which they get covered quite a lot on YouTube, but a lot of it's clickbait. This is my opinion, this is the real stuff, so let me know in the comments what you think about it. Please press the subscribe button for more content. Check out some of the old videos, like the video, and I'll see you next time.